Good day, my fellow book lovers. My name is Megan, a future author, and I'm so glad you clicked on this video today. As of 2025, I'm in the process of editing my first book, a fun book full of monsters, magic, and a little bit of romance. While I'm writing my second book, I thought it'd be fun to test out different authors' writing routines. That way I can find one that works for me and my lifestyle. And I hope by watching these videos that if you're a writer, you can find one that works for you and gives you the confidence to write that story. Since you clicked on this video, you clearly know I'll be following W.H. Auden's writing routine for this week. And yes, I'll be doing it for the entire week, that way I can learn if it works for me and my lifestyle. W.H. Auden has written operas, plays, poems. Personally, I only know how to write novels, so it's very interesting that he can write so many different forms of writing. I have not read or watched any of his stuff, but this week I plan to try to find some of his poems and read them, that way I can get into his mindset while I follow his writing routine. On the website Medium, I'll put it in the description, I found his writing routine, which consists of waking up at 6 a.m., drinking coffee and doing a crossword puzzle. Then he writes from 7 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Next he has lunch. Then he continues writing, and in the afternoon around 6:30 p.m. he drinks lots of alcohol. Then he goes to bed no later than 11 p.m. There will be some modifications that I will have to make. First, I will not be drinking coffee in the morning, both for religious reasons and the fact that the smell of it gives me migraines, which will definitely not help my writing. Instead, I'll substitute this with herbal tea. The second, also for religious reasons, and the fact that I'm underage, I will not be drinking alcohol. I'll again just substitute this with herbal tea, so I'll just be drinking a lot of tea this week. Third, I will be having my dinner around 5:30 to 8 p.m. Just depends on if I work or not. And since I make dinner for my family, they like eating at 5:30, so I can't really change their eating habits for this writing routine. Auden was a man who really loved schedules and liked to keep to them. He also really didn't like night owls. He one time said, "Only the Hitlers of the world work at night. No honest artist does." And I'm very much a night owl, so I guess I'm not a true artist in Auden's mind. Which I guess is kind of correct because I'm not published nor professional. So I guess 1 point Auden. I'm going to do my best to keep to this schedule to honor his writing routine, and with it being spring break, it will be so much more easier for me to do that. However, I do have work, so unfortunately there is some times where I won't be able to do his writing routine, like on Saturday and Monday, because I'm going to be working the entire day, so I won't have a chance to. Instead, I will do the days after Monday to make up for that. That way I still will be doing it for 7 days. I just won't be doing it, unfortunately, in a row because of work. Before we move on to the main content of this video, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, that would be a big help. And now at 6:30 p.m., it's time to start doing some crossword puzzles. Hi guys, so it's the end of the first day. I did some crossword puzzles. I definitely am not skilled at that. I have not done them before really, so it was definitely a learning curve. Hopefully I will improve by the end of this week, because today was not the best. After that, I did some writing and then had lunch and made myself an egg salad sandwich. I also had to take my dad to something, so that did interrupt my writing for a little bit. At the end of the writing, I got 1,507 words. I wasn't able to write past 2 p.m. today, so I only got about 5 hours of writing done, which is pretty good, but I still think I could have done better. But yeah, so that's pretty much my writing routine. Drank a lot of tea. I drank so much tea, oh my goodness. But yeah, so that's the end of day 1. Okay, so it is day 2 of following Auden's writing routine. It's definitely not getting easier, at least at the moment. You would think like the hardest thing would be like the crossword puzzles or the writing for so long. But no, the hardest thing, at least right now, is going to sleep at 11. It's not in my nature. I'm very much a night owl. I stay up until like at least midnight. And so the fact that I'm trying to go to bed at 11, let's just say I was in my bed at 11 did not fall asleep at 11. But I did wake up, did not want to wake up, was not happy about that, but I did it, so that's all that matters. For the day, I didn't film anything just because it was kind of boring. I just ate some breakfast, did my crossword puzzles. I can definitely tell the crossword puzzle I have is definitely geared more towards a senior citizen because a lot of the pop culture references I just don't understand. And then after that, I drank about 3 cups of tea. And then I wrote for about 5 hours and got 1,470 words. So pretty good, pretty average. Hopefully I'll be able to get more next time on day 3, which will technically won't be tomorrow because I have work all day long. But hopefully it will be pretty good because the weather says it's going to be a blizzard. So I'm really hopeful for that. Okay, hopefully my camera's actually videoing this time because I recorded this whole thing and realized I forgot to click play, so hopefully this actually works. Today is day 3 following Auden's writing routine, and I cannot tell you how happy I was to wake up at 6 a.m. But how happy I was to wake up to find that it was snowing outside. I was like, yes, there's a blizzard. This is great. I am so excited. When the weather is miserable, terrible, I could not be even more happier. For the day, I ate some breakfast, did some more crossword puzzles. Didn't do very well at the crossword puzzle, but I did it. And then I drank some tea. Throughout the day, I drank about like 5 cups of tea. And then I wrote for about 5 hours, and I got 2,049 words. So thank heavens for the blizzard. We all will welcome a blizzard because that's how you know the writing is going to be where it should be at. And now the end of day 3, it's time to go to bed, and then we will be doing day 4. Hi guys, it's the end of day 4. I didn't film anything because it was really boring. I just did some Sudoku like I always do, eat breakfast, did some writing, took a lunch break, and then wrote again. So nothing too out of the normal. I have been noticing since I've been on the schedule a bit more, even though I still hate waking up, trust me, do not like waking up, but once I'm awake, it's a bit easier to not be tired. So that's good, I'm slightly improving. But after this, I'm not waking up like this again because I don't like it. But at the end of the day, I got 1,533 words, so pretty good. Okay, it is the end of day 5. I drank copious amount of tea, so I'm very well hydrated. I ate breakfast. I also did some Sudoku. Still was very bad at it, so definitely not my forte. After that, I did some writing, and then during the lunch period, I went grocery shopping because I've been meaning to do that. And we had no food for dinner tonight, so I needed to do that. After that, I wrote, and at the end of the day, I got 1,341 words. Pretty close to my average. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Hi, so it is the end of day 6. I just got out of the shower, so my hair will not be straight tomorrow. Today was definitely more of a rough day. Writing was just not coming easy. Didn't really feel in the mood to write, and so at the end of the day, I got 972 words, which is definitely my worst this week, but hopefully tomorrow will be better. Then I can give you my final verdict on W.H. Auden's writing routine on day 7. Hi guys, so I finished W.H. Auden's writing routine today. When I went to DI with my sister, I found a book that has one of his poems in it, called The Unknown Citizen. It was very good. I personally am not a big poetry lover, but for poetry, I liked it. It was pretty good, so W.H. Auden apparently is a pretty good writer. Who would have thunk? Anyways, for today, I got 1,521 words, which means if you add up all my words throughout the week, at the end of the day, I got 10,393 words, which is an average of 1,484 words a day. So pretty good. It's very close to the average that I got for Stephen Pressfield. So it's nice to know that I'm still keeping to the average and I'm not going like backwards. But what are the pros and cons? First, let's do the pros. Pros, you get to have a life. After you do your writing and stuff, you get to spend the rest of the day with your family and you carry on life as normal. It also has a lot of writing time, so you get a lot done and you have a good amount of time to actually get the materials finished. Third, you're going to be very hydrated. You drink so much tea, or in this case you would drink coffee and alcohol, which I don't know how hydrating those are. But if you're drinking tea, you're gonna get really hydrated. I also kept a count of how many cups of tea I drink, just because I feel like that's a big part of it. And at the end of the week, I had 26 cups of tea, so that's more than 3 cups a day. If you're worried about not being hydrated enough, you just follow W.H. Auden's writing routine and you will always be hydrated. Now, of course, there's going to be cons. And one that is always the case with me, you have to get up so flippin' early. I'm not an early bird. We know this. So definitely is going to be a con for me, the waking up early part. Number 2, personally, I'm not a big fan of crossword puzzles. I just find they're not relaxing to me. I'd much rather do like a Sudoku puzzle or something like that. And when I was doing the editing, I realized that I said Sudoku sometimes instead of crossword puzzle. Apparently, you guys know that I like doing Sudoku because I kept almost accidentally saying it every single time. The third is the time of the writing. I'm just not a big fan of writing in the middle of the day, especially early in the day. Maybe I'll get better at that as time goes on, but typically I write at night and I do all my creativity at night. Just writing the day, typically during the day I'll think about my story and then at night I'll write it. And so it's just very awkward for me to just wake up and just go right into the writing and not have any like transition period or thinking period. So that's definitely a con for me. And number 4, bedtime. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm not an early bird. I am a night owl. And so going to bed at 11, I was in my bed at 11. I never went to sleep at 11. Overall, is W.H. Auden's writing routine for me? No, it doesn't. I do think though, if you're very much an early bird and you like getting your writing done first thing in the morning, this writing routine is definitely something you should try because it would give you a lot of opportunity to see like, oh, let me play around with the times of the writing. Let's try to do like a brain game beforehand. And I think that's really good to explore options like that. I just know for me, I didn't like it. Hopefully, maybe the next writing routine I'll like. I already have chosen what the writing routine that is going to be for my 3rd one. And you know what? I will give you a little hint. Bah humbug. Let's see if you can get it. If you think you know what it is, put it down in the comments below. And see you in the next one.